So it seems like Bandai really likes option sets, and I mean really likes option sets. Over a couple of months this year, Bandai released a whopping 12 of these little kits. Now this might seem a little bit extreme until you take a little bit of a closer look at the boxes and realize that these are just repackaged kits that did exist before. So I'm not sure if the older ones were just hard to get or if they're out of stock entirely, but now they're all back here again. These are a bunch of optional parts and accessories for using with kits from Gundam Build Divers, Gundam Build Fighters, Gundam Build Batlog, and Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. Of course, all of these kits right here can be used with whatever you want. GUNPLA is freedom after all. But if you do want any of these, I got mine through Hobby Link Japan and the link will be down there in the description. Now let's see just how many of these I can get built. Alright, so here is all of them. More than likely I won't be able to get through every single one of these today, definitely not. So I'm just going to take a look at some choice ones out of these, but I will show you every single one of them that is available. If you're wondering why it starts at 3, not at number, well, 1, is because number 1 was this kit that we would have seen before. That is the extra parts for using with the entry grade Strike Gundam. Or, well, you can use it with anything if you do want to, but it did kind of come out hand in hand with that particular kit. Then there was a little bit more, which was option set 2, which did add in the rest of the parts. So these were all very perfect Strike Gundam centric. Again, you could use them on whatever you want. And if you did use them on your entry grade Strike Gundam, this right here is what you would get, which is the entry grade perfect Strike Gundam. These things back here are more, I guess, high grade level than entry grade. They're a little bit more regular GUNPLA, but overall you get a nice, simple, and relatively inexpensive display. Now, out of all of these ones right here, I do feel certain ones of them, a certain 2, are almost a GUNPLA necessity, and that is number 3 and number 4. Now, these right here are the GUNPLA build hands. Now, even though it does say build on them, like build divers, like what it says right up here on the corner of the box, this can be used with absolutely everything and anything, just like you can see by the Zaku and the Sazabi down there. What these are is essentially a box of multiple optional use hands, which is very awesome, and they're very nice hands at that. Option set 3 is the build hands edge, so these are the more, as you would say, Gundam style hands. They're edged, geometric, and square, so usually the good guy hands. Option set 4 over here is the exact same thing, but these times they are the build hands round, which means the fingers are rounded in that typical Zaku or Zaku-esque Zeon bad guy. And I use the term bad guy extremely loosely because, you know, shades of grey and all that. Gundam. Alright, so unboxing both of these, and if I remember correctly, because I did buy the old packaged version one way back well now, and I honestly don't know if I did do a review of those or not. So yeah, inside of each of these there is one bag of hands, but do not be alarmed, there is a ton of hands in each of these. Put that off to the side. There are the little manuals, just tiny little pamphlets. And the build of these is incredibly simple. It seems like there are just 3 aspects to each, including a nice hinged ball joint, which is a big plus. So I'm going to go with the round hands first because they're quite literally the first ones I picked up. Inside of these we get 2, so that's a duplicate of the exact same runner. So it does mean you get 2 of every hand option that's in here, left and right by 2. On top of that, each of the hand styles, like this widespread one right here, is in here 3 times. Large, medium, and small, so you will find the size to suit your kit. As long as it is high grade, that is. Cutout here is super simple, not much to it. Same goes with assembly, everything is 3 parts. We have a nice hinge for the wrist and a rear armor. Now the rear armor is only in grey, but then again that's something you could easily prime and spray the color you need. And grey sometimes doesn't really stand out too much on a kit, even if it, well, doesn't match it. So there you go, that is what the hand will look like once it is out and about. And we do have a nice little hinge movement right here. So just grabbing the edge versions now, and everything is exactly the same. Same styles of hands, which is fist, widespread open, and holding. Again, these hands cut out exactly the same way as the other ones. Actually, I'm even sure that the numbering on the runners is exactly the same. Assembly, once again, a jointed wrist, and then a back segment which pops on just like that. So 100% the same as the rounded edge ones, except they are hard edged or square edged. So one of my biggest complaints sometimes when you get a Gundam kit is when you actually take a look at the accessories and you don't have any nice posed hands inside the box, like the Hyakushiki right here. This does come with actual fists, which is a big, or should I say a very unusual style of hand to have, which I very much appreciate, but what if you want a wide spread? Well, that is exactly where a kit like this comes in, so I assume all of these kits have the same ball joint. I'm not sure how far back it goes that Bandai's been using the same ball joint in these kits, so it may take a little bit of trial and error to find out. Also, as you can see, the kind of immediate issue is the fact that the back of the armor does not match the kit. This, of course, can be painted if you want to, but gray hands don't detract so much. The original RX-78-2 has gray on the back of its hands, so in a way it doesn't look horrendous, but one of the biggest issues is you'll never get a back of the hand that kind of will fit. You can't just grab the back of a Hyakushiki's hand and use it on it. They just don't fit, really. You're just gonna have to paint that one right there a matching gold. And speaking of a matching gold, the issues kind of compound a bit when you go with a kit that has something as unique as a gold style inner frame or jointed parts. So the hands on this kit are, as you can see, thankfully this one did come with a widespread hand, but yeah, the hands in a kit like this are in gold, so not only will the back armor of the hand not match, neither will the hand itself. Anyway, just popping the hand off for the sake of example, and popping this one in just like so you can check out exactly what that one right there looks like. So yeah, the hand is outright gray when the rest of the kit is in gold and white. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna get away with not noticing that right there. It kind of looks like the Mighty Strike Freedom had its hand broken off and replaced with generic parts. So yeah, something you would definitely have to paint up to match a kit like this. Now, there is a pretty cool thing about these hands that set them apart from the standard hand. For example, the Quanta that we took a look at yesterday, it's got a widespread open hand included inside of its box, but as you can see, the limitation of the movement is there to there and nothing more. But if you just grab that and pull it off, attach on the other one, then you can see that these can actually flex up way higher and flex down way further because these are based on the hands from the absolutely awesome Build Burning Gundam. Of course, this one right here is a little bit on the big side for the Quanta, but you know, this is the medium size. I guess the Quanta is a smaller size Gundam, so use the smaller size hand. Overall though, they're really awesome. So next up, I'm absolutely not grabbing them in order anymore. This is the option part set GUNPLA 9 Giant Gatling. I'm grabbing them in order of which I think are the most interesting. And honestly, who doesn't want a nice extra Gatling for using with their Gundam kits? Always awesome. There's what we get inside of the box. There it is with a couple of awesome suits. It says it's compatible with 1/44 scale and 1/100. I guess use it with whatever you will. Cracking open the box to see what we've got inside. And once again, it's one bag making this kit up and a little pamphlet for the instructions. So once you get the bag open, inside this box we've got two runners that are completely different, so no two weapons in this, just the one. So when it comes to the build of the Gatling right here, this was extremely enjoyable, and I feel like this was the precursor to 30-minute missions here. This has a lot of different modular aspects. Everything is in gray, builds up very simply. Had a bit of a weird issue with the barrel, which I'll mention in a second, and now I can see on completing this why they say this can be used with 1/100 scale kits, because this is a lot larger than I was expecting. So this right here is what the Gatling looks like complete, and this is really big. Now I'm going to mention it straight away before it absolutely leaves my head, but I did have a bit of an issue with the barrel, mainly because, and you can kind of see right there, these barrel sections all flare out every two, so these are made in pairs. So 1 and 2 are fine, then there's a weird tapering gap, then 1 and 2 are fine, and then there's a weird tapering gap. I did actually take this apart in order to kind of check out whether I'd made some kind of mistake, but apparently not. Again, this is made out of a lot of very nice modular aspects, and it is big. Like if you just pop it beside a high-grade Gundam, it's almost the length of a high-grade Gundam. Now, I'm not sure if it was the Master Grade Gym or Gym Dominance that came with this here Gatling turret kind of thing, 2 of these, but this actually is a option set Gatling, and it's even nicer than that one. The detailing, the design, everything about it is just nicer looking. It's just, you know, this is meant to be a Master Grade. This is technically, well, it's high grade, but can really be used with anything. Nice. Overall, the detail and all that is pretty awesome. The only kind of down point is there is a couple of hollow parts here and there, and the kind of nonsensical peg that sometimes comes with modular kits. So just popping it onto a 1/44th scale Gundam for a bit of a Gundam try-on, and that exactly is what it will look like right there. A little bit on the absolutely gigantic side, and that is probably why on the box it's on Xeon suits, which are a, well, decent size bigger than the standard Gundam or Federation style suits. But this is your average size high grade, and that thing is massive. When it comes to using it with a master grade, you just pop off the handle, and there is an alternate one inside, like so. Now grabbing a 1/100th scale granddaddy kit, that being the master grade RX 78-2 version 3.0. I hope the hands hold together on me. And there we go, absolutely no issue whatsoever. And that right there kind of looks like a little bit of a better fit than what we saw on the 1/44th scale kit. So there is a second form to this right here. Actually, you can build it in whatever way you want with all these modular parts, but I'm just going to stick with what it says inside of the instructions. So basically, you just strip this down to its basic elements in the center. All of these parts from around here pop off like that, and that, leaving the handle on the back, so that is the central aspect. And here we've got an alternate barrel section, a side handle, this large section for up top, and what you stick onto the side is up to yourself. This kit does include 4 3mm hole covering pieces. You can use this little sight section, or you can use the ammo drum again with this new little attachment piece, which attaches onto the side, and that's the one I'm going to go with. So that just hangs off the side like so. Finally, then we do have this little bit of a tripod section with moving little tripod pieces. They can move from there all the way in like so, and that then just pops into the bottom just like this. So just a bit of a test fit. If I threw a 1/44th scale kit down beside it, so that's the size it would be beside a standard Gundam, and if I threw a master grade down beside it, that would be the side. So in this kind of form, it kind of suits a high grade a little bit better, unless it's a kind of automated turret. So that right there is all the time I do have for today, so I will mention briefly what is in each side of the ones I didn't get to take a look at. So first up is Option Set GUNPLA 5 Universe Booster Plavsky Power Gate. So basically what's inside this is the stuff to make the Universe Booster, and we got a stand in here as well. The original kit of this, which this is absolutely no different to, came out in 2013, so this has been around for a while. There's more plastic inside of this box, colorful parts, there is no sparkles inside of it like we saw with the Master Grade. There's the weapons and the stand, and there is a whole bunch of stickers. Very Gundam Build Fighters style. That right there is basically the lineup of parts that do come inside of the box. Option Set 6 is the valuable pod. This is this very Gyan looking backpack with some Gyan looking shields. Again, this right here is a repackage of a Build Fighters kit. That is what you get in there as well, so a bunch of adapters and parts, hands, and a head for a Gyan. Again, you're not limited to using the Gyan, you can use it with pretty much whatever you'd like to. Once again, there is everything that comes inside of the box. Option Part Set GUNPLA 7 is the Powered Arms Powered, okay. Yeah, so this right here is a very typical Build Fighter style array of weapons attached by little adapters. Seems like we've got a pair of big old rifles, Gatlings, and Build Fighters style joints. Once again, there's the overview of everything that comes inside the box, and this little image over here kind of gives you an idea of the different ways you can attach these weapons together. Looks kind of crazy, and maybe a little bit messy. Option 7-8 is the Balden Arms. Once again, very similar to the last one, a whole bunch of stuff attached by joints. This one appears to be a lot of wings, some claws, what appear to be some missile pods. There's the overview of what comes inside the box, so it basically builds up as a kind of backpack, and it does seem like you can get pretty wild with this again. Very Gundam Build Fighters add-on right here. So Option Set GUNPLA 10, the Galaxy Booster right here, blasts us a little bit into the future a bit. So this one I actually do have a review up of already. Again, this is just a repackage of a kit we would have seen before. Throw some footage up right now, but if you do want to check this out, I do recommend checking out that full review if you want to know more about this particular item. And the same goes for these right here. Now, these I have reviews of as well. I always did love the Iron-Blooded Orphans add-on kit, so that is exactly what these are. Number 11, that is mainly based on the smooth bore gun for using with Gundam Barbatos, which doesn't come included with that particular high grade. We also have a Lance a shield, and a mobile worker. One of my favorite aspects of these particular kits. It doesn't come in color, you do have to paint it. Bye bye. Again, there is a review of that particular kit on the channel here if you do want to check that out. It's simple and to the point. Same goes for this right here. This is the large railgun, and as you can see, it's being used by the Barbatos Lupus right there. So that does mean this is from a little bit further on in Iron-Blooded Orphans. There's also some melee weapons and shoulder cannons for using and upgrading your Floros. And probably one of the annoyingest things ever about these sort of kits is the widespread hands for using specifically with Gundam Vidar. High-grade Gundam Vidar are inside of this box. Also, we do have two types of large weapon, as you can see right here, large, long-range weapons. But yeah, if you want to see more about this particular kit, I have a review of this one too. These are just straight-up repackages. So yeah, when it comes to all of these Gundam option sets, if there's anything you wanted to know or what the bottom line with these really is that option set 1 and 2 are brand new for, well, the current time, for making the perfect striker pack for the entry grade strike. Everything else is just repackaged stuff from before, so we've seen it before. I do highly recommend both of the hand options. They're always awesome to have around for customs and just for kits that don't have the hands that you want. They're better than your standard high grade hands. Anyway, as always, that is it for the review. Thank you so much for watching. I got all of this stuff off of Hobby Link Japan, link in the description. And once again, I will be back again tomorrow with another GUNPLA review. Once again, I can't finish this video right here without special thanks to the channel members and the patrons over on Patreon, including Simon Paskin, Abraxas, Caleb Engelhart, Joe, RG59061, ShadowWolf179, Van Fawn, and Scotty Thomas.